We are reading the hand of a particular person whose age is 36 years old, and he wanted to know regarding his career prospects and other aspects of his life. And before I start this particular video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can get a reading from me, you can call me, or you can email me. The email and the phone number are mentioned right out here. So we straight away head to this particular hand image. He's age 36 years old. So first we will be talking about the changes that might be coming about in his particular case. The first thing is that this is basically the money line. I would point out the age. I'm just first drawing the line he doesn't even have. So this is the money line, the fate line, any line pointing towards the Saturn finger. This is the Saturn finger is basically the fate line, the money line, the line of possessions. And this is basically the line of head, and this is the line of heart. So just understand the intersection of head and money line is age 35, and the intersection of money line and the heart line is age 53. So these are the things that you have to keep in mind. So you would notice that the money line is kind of coming and ending on the line of head. So somewhere like it crosses a little bit further out here and then it basically ends. So ending of the money line is generally not considered to be good, but at the same time it doesn't mean that everything is lost. Don't think that if the money line ends, everything is lost. It is not like that. It is just a changeover. So the changeover is happening, and it's happening somewhere at the age of 35. The intersection is 35, so 35, 36. This is when the major things are happening and a new line is developing. So a new source of income or a new way of doing things. This is the first thing. And there's another money line also that is starting, and it is kind of a line that is running parallel to the main line. This is the main line, and so this is another line that is running parallel. So when we have not one but two lines of money, it is kind of a support system. Basically the person has a dual income. Dual income can be his own personal dual income, or it could be help from somebody else. It could be either way. So this is the other aspect. So it is kind of a pillar of strength. So when you have got another supporting line, it is a kind of a pillar of strength the person might have. Now we look at the headline. See, generally everybody wants to know about the money and money line. People think that money line would tell about the money aspects. Everything is going to be known by the money line. It is not like that. It is a combination of each and every line that can talk about the money aspect. So it's not only one line that talks about the money. I can try to correlate any possible line, be it the this lifeline, the heart line, the headline, the sun line. Any area of the palm can be correlated with money. So it's not just one line but that talks about the money. Importance of money line in terms of money is only 15%. So keep that in mind. So it's not a very important line. There are other important lines as well for the money aspect. So this is basically the lifeline I would be talking about out here, and a line from the area of mount of Mars. The name is Mars negative out here, and this is basically Mars positive. This is just the name. This particular area depicts anger, aggression and fire. So the lifeline is starting here, the headline is starting here. So this is the portion where the spark happens. So this whole area is the area of spark. This is the area of your fire, and this is basically the area of your fuel. The Venus is the area of your fuel. So any line running horizontal and touching some main line like the headline at the age of 35 could mean that few problems can arise and few oppositions can arise during this particular period, 35, 36. This is the main period. So a problem is coming and striking. Like imagine something, I just correlate in a different way. This is the mount of Mars and this is the area of Venus. Mars is basically the fire and Venus is basically the energy, and the lifeline is basically the engine or the car you are traveling in. If these lines that are running parallel, these are supporting lines, but lines that are horizontal is something like another car is coming from this particular direction and trying to hit your money line as well as headline. So what is going to happen is the problem that is going to come about would strike you in the financial part as well as on your thought process as well. So it's going to be a troublesome period, but at the same time the intensity of the line also matters. So comparatively, the line that is coming and striking this particular area is not superly strong. It is not something like it's a heavy truck or something like that is coming and banging in. It could be maybe a scooter, maybe a cycle, maybe a small car that is coming and hitting. So the impact is going to be comparatively less. So this is one part, but this is all happening at the age of 35-36. But before 35-36, you would notice that there is a overlapping the break in the break in the headline, and there's a backward movement also towards the Mount of Mars on the headline. So Mount of Mars basically means aggression, and the headline that moves backward, a branch that is moving backward, angling towards the Mount of Mars, would bring aggression into the mind, and aggression is not considered to be a good sign when it comes in your thought process. So the chances of making wrong decisions basically increase. Coming back to the break in the money line, basically what it basically depicts is that this break is indication of 2 or 3 things. The first thing could be that the person might lose his job, or there could be a business loss that the person might suffer. This could be one of the things. The other thing could be that the main earning member in the family, their health or wealth gets affected. So it's just after that particular period of time, the responsibility basically falls onto this particular person's head. So somewhere at the age of 35-36, the whole responsibility of the family is going to fall onto this particular person. So this is the second aspect. The third aspect could be that the relationship of the person might have few problems. So relationship issues could also be indicated with this break in the line of money. So it's not only we have to look on the heart line or the line of attachments, the problem. It could also mean this way as well, but it's not like completely don't think that it's going to 100% happen, because the heart line in itself is quite distinct and clear and good. So stability in the emotional sphere, even if there are lots of troubles, but those troubles are likely to get solved. The other aspect is that I would just show you another hand image that I did receive, and in this particular hand image, sometimes the way the person takes the hand image, there could be some error, but whatever I'm seeing, I'm trying to basically correlate. We are talking about the length of the Mercury finger. This is the Mercury finger. This is the finger of technical skills, communication skills, calculations, all these kind of things. So it is said that if this particular finger is long, basically long means if it reaches the ring finger, this is the ring finger, the sun finger, Apollo finger, and if it reaches somewhere close by out here, this finger of Mercury is considered to be a long finger. But if it is very short, like if it's reaching only till here, so I'm assuming that it is not a long finger and it's just reaching somewhere till here. I could be wrong, because the way the person takes the image, there could be errors, so there could be a mistake. So I would try to when I talk to this particular person, I would basically ask him that does it reach to this particular portion on both the hands or only in this particular hand. But I'm explaining the meaning of what a short Mercury finger depicts. Basically, this is the communication tower. The Mercury finger is basically the communication tower, because Mercury depicts communication. And there's another big tower. So big tower is able to emit signals to a larger population, and it can receive and emit signals to a larger population, but a shorter finger would be able to emit to a comparatively less people. But at the same time, I found that even with a short finger, many people are very good communicators when it comes to talking to a group of people and many people, unknown people also. They are very good. Like if they have to speak to thousands of people, they can speak. But when it concerns the most person which is closest, it is something like this is the communication tower, and the person is emitting signals and receiving signals, but the person who's standing real close by, the signals are not reaching that particular person. It means near and dear one. This is where the problem may arise. So the person needs to take care that he kind of is able to communicate. They should try to make effort to communicate much better with the near and dear ones. So this is the other aspect. Now there are few other aspects that I would talk about on the left hand. See, left hand is not something like that we have to ignore it. Right hand is the active hand in the male, but it's not that the left hand is to be ignored. The good and the bad aspects of this particular palm could apply in a small or big way in the person's life. And it's not like that both hands are completely different. It's not like they're completely different. There are lots of similarities. So so that is the reason why I also give importance to the left hand as well. You'd notice a very strong kind of a line of Mercury pointing towards the Mercury mount. So and a V and a triangle like formation is getting formed. This is called basically the money triangle. The formation is somewhere before the age of 35, and the starting point could be around the age of, if we look at on the money line, this is basically the money line. So the timing could be approximately, this point of age could be approximately 27 or so. This is when the formation of the money triangle is there. See, money triangle is nothing but the formation of it is formed with the money line. Money line basically means money, but money line, you would be able to make more money if you have got the technical skill. This is the line of technical skill. This is basically Budh. Budh means Buddhi, and this is Mercury, and this is the thought process line. And thought process or line is also towards the end. After the age of 35, it is kind of swinging a little bit upward. Whenever it swings upward towards the mount of Mercury, it is considered to be a good sign. There's another branch that is happening really somewhere at the age of 35. This is also considered to be a good sign. The upward branch on the headline is also considered to be good. But before the age of 35, you would notice that on the headline there's a backward line. Backward line pointing towards the mount of Mars could bring in anger, aggression, and fight, and all these kind of things. This is all happening somewhere around the age of 33, 32. That's the age that I would refer to. And there are few downward kind of lines also from the lifeline. This is basically the lifeline. Their upward lines are considered to be good, but downward line pointing towards the mount of Moon, this could mean loss of health or loss of health. But this point of life the person has already crossed. So this could be another aspect. Apart from the main money line, sorry, the main lifeline, there's also a supporting lifeline. This basically supports the person in times of dire need, and it could be financial support. This line, although this is the Mars line, this is the line of fighting. So this could be fighting against difficult people, difficult situations, and coming out as winners. So this is what this particular line basically means. Now we come to and this basically the supporting lifeline, also known as the guardian angel line, is kind of a line that could support you in all aspects of your life. It is not only one aspect, but all aspects of your life. There could be this support. Now we look at the sun line. This is basically the sun line. Again, the timing on the sun line is, this is the heart line. The intersection out here is age 53, and this is 53 and beyond. From this line onwards, this is 53 and beyond, 53 onwards. There's a slight line, we can barely see this portion of the line after the age of 35. So you would notice that from 35 to 53 and before the age of 35 also, there's no line as such present, the sun line that we can call. Books basically say that the timing is something like if the line starts from here, This could be 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 53, and then 53 and beyond. But I don't read in this particular fashion. If I find the line to be prominent under the finger of sun, I say it is for your whole life, that it would be a good thing. And towards the end, if we find the line to be deep and dark, deep and clear, it signifies that the person is giving huge amount of energies to their work, and that is the reason the work is going to shine. Some people call this line to be the line of luck and name and fame. I would agree to some extent, but I would give more weightage to what I've said, that this is the line where we find that the person is energizing the work, and because the person is energizing, that's the reason why the person is going to be successful. The heart line as such is neat and clean, but there are few branches over it. Branches over the heart line means getting distracted. So this is what the left hand is showing. I would basically go back to the right hand, and then I would basically end my video. There's one special kind of indication that can be seen on this particular hand on the lifeline. This is basically the lifeline. Till this age, somewhere till this age, the age could be approximately 60, 65, and beyond that you would notice that the line is kind of pointing towards the mount of moon. So mount of moon, whenever it points, the meaning becomes a little bit different. It means that the urge to travel is going to increase. Travel can not necessarily mean only foreign travel. It could be travel within your country or outside your country, and wanting to live far away from your birthplace. This is what basically the meaning is. And moon is something where the phases of moon changes every day. It basically means when the lifeline is pointing towards the amount of moon, it is something like the person would get restless. Restlessness is going to creep in towards after the age of 60, 65. This is what is depicted. In the right hand as well, the same indications are seen. A prominent sun line is seen. A dim kind of a line is seen out here. From 35 to 53. See, the dim line also means something like, I'm just zooming in to this particular image. You would notice a very thin kind of a line that you see out here. See, thin lines, very barely visible line. Basically, it signifies the person is having doubts, and doubts never give success. Basically, if a person is doubtful or having self-doubt, the chances basically decrease. So removal of doubts is necessary, and if a person is able to remove doubts, the chances basically brighten up. I've already talked about the Mercury line. See, Mercury is a very important planet in today's times. I've talked about the Mercury line in the left hand. In the left hand, it is much better compared to the right hand. In the right hand, you would notice that the line is present, but it's not so deep and clear compared to the left hand. But this is just a smaller comparative, and the money triangle is also not getting formed completely. But at the same time, you notice that there are very few lines over the mount of Mercury. This is the mount of Mercury. See, you don't need to have very special kind of a line. You don't have to have a very special kind of sign on your mount of Mercury. Don't think that it's only then the person is going to be successful. It could mean otherwise as well. See, when there's no line on that particular mount, it basically means very good aspect. It basically means that, see, you have to keep your mind to be very cool when there's no line, or almost there's a small line out here, but generally there's no line. It is kind of correlating to a blackboard, and nothing is written on that particular blackboard. It is something like a child is born, and whatever you teach the child, it means whatever you write on the blackboard, the child is remembering those and applying those things in a very fast way. Their learning graph is very steep. So a clean blackboard, you have space to write, but if everything is written out here, so there's no space to write. So people who have got too many lines over the mount of Mercury, there basically the problem arises. Some people have a grill-like formation, this kind of a formation, so that is basically bad indication. So we don't see any such thing. This area basically depicts our communication and calculations. Too many lines over this particular area crisscrossing Perpendicular lines are good. If they were perpendicular, those would be good. But if they were horizontal and crisscrossing lines, then basically the area gets negative aspects. So the area is neat and clean, which automatically means the learning graph of this particular person is going to be steep. Whatever the person learns is good, the person would be able to apply, and the person is able to keep his mind out of clutter. So this is a positive aspect to be seen, and it's I would say that it is good. Now just before ending my video, I would take a look at the headline as well once again. The break can be seen out here, then there's an upward line, then there's another upward line. So this is happening one or two times, and because it's happening one or two times, so and it's happening somewhere at the age of 35 plus, and at the same time somewhere after the age of 35, it could be around the age of 44 or so. So these lines are these upward branches are seen on the headline. It is something like, I would say, I would just explain to you in a different way. Suppose this is the headline and there was a small line pointing towards the mount of moon. It would mean something is hanging onto your head. This is the headline, so something is hanging onto your head. This line is hanging and it is kind of pulling the person downwards, pulling his head downwards. It would mean that disappointments creeping in. This line downward means disappointments. So look into your dictionary, what is the opposite of disappointments? The upward line is the opposite of disappointment. So these are beautiful lines, and this could apply to any aspect of your life, not only one but any aspect, wherever the person is able to apply. Lastly, I would just add one more thing before I end this particular video. In the right hand, we don't find too many branches, but a line is running parallel twice, out here also and out here also. Although there are fewer branches, like this is a branch, small branches. Branches basically means getting distracted. So it's better, like if the line is very neat and clean, it's a very neat and clean line, I would say. But still, if these side-by-side lines were not present, I would have rated it to be much better. But these lines basically means duality in your emotions, being in two boats. Your emotional life would be in two boats, running for a long duration of time. So that's the reason I wouldn't say it is a good sign. As such, the heart line is ending. This is the heart line that is ending somewhere on the mount of Saturn. Saturn is a good planet for money and money, wisdom and all. So heart line that ends on the mount of Saturn, the chances for wealth increase, the money increases because the person angles towards money, and that is the reason the person would get more money. This break on the headline could mean major turnaround in the person's thinking process. The whole thinking process basically changes totally. So this is what basically I wanted to share with you in this particular video. Before I end this particular video, I would just repeat a few things that I repeat in almost all my videos. People want to know about money, possession and wealth. We can come to know about money on almost all possible lines. Money line, we can like in terms of money, the importance of money is only 15%. We can come to know about money line from all aspects of your hand, be it your head, your heart, your lifeline, the supporting lifeline that I've just indicated on both your hands. They are present. It's a beautiful line. So those are the lines that matters. See, this area, that Mars area, is very important because this line gives us the fighting spirit. This is the spark within you. This is the area of Mars, and Mars is a red planet, and red means anger, aggression and fire. So this is the spark within you, and the spark remains. So even when the problem arose out here, you were supported by this supporting lifeline. So it is kind of, even if everything stops in your life, everything, you lose everything, even then you would be able to build your life again with this particular line, the line that is running parallel to the main lifeline. So towards the end, the last thing I want to add out here, a saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Keep positive thoughts and keep positive company, because company matters the most. Even if you have some negative signs, they can be negated with good company. Thanks, bye, and take care.